class. Ako nga pala si Teacher Joanna Rica Fernandez, ang inyong guro ngayong araw. Bago tayo mag-umpisa, tayo ay magdasal muna. Sa ngalan ng Ama, Anak, Espiritu Santo. Amen. So, ayun. Bago tayo mag-umpisa, gusto ko kayo ulit batiin na isang magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Bago tayo mag-umpisa sa ating talakayan, meron ako kaunting palaro upang tayo ganahan sa ating talakayan ngayong araw na ito. Unang larawan, base sa inyong nakita, ano agad ang pumasok sa inyong mga utak? Maaaring magtaas ng kamay kung gusto sumagot. Yes, Miss Shania? Pwede. How about the others? Yes, Mr. Solis? Tama. Last one? Anyone na gusto sumagot at magtaas pa ng kamay? Yes, Mr. Mark? Tama. Ang lahat ng inyong sinabi ay tama. Dahil sa larawang ito, ipinapakita lamang na siya ay nag-iisip ng mga idea or nagko-construct. Sa pangalawang larawan, base sa inyong nakita, ano ulit ang pumasok sa inyong mga utak or any thoughts for that pic? Yes, Ms. Shania? Yes, tama. Last one? Yes, Mr. Felizardo? Tama. Ang larawan ay nagpapakita ng sharing ideas. Kaya naman, para sa ating huling palaro, upang tayo mas ganahan, meron akong maliit na papremyo sa inyo. Yes? Tama. Magbibigay ako ng worth 50 pesos para sa batang makakahula para sa ating last na palaro. Ito ay tinatawag na jumble words na kung saan ay kailangan nyo lamang sagutin kung ano ang tama. May jumble words kayo makikita and then kailangan nyo hulaan kung ano yung tamang or exact words para dun sa jumble words na yon. Maaaring magtaas ng kamay kung sino ang unang gusto sumagot at kung sino ang unang makatamang sagot ay bibigyan ko ng worth 50 pesos through GCash. Ganado ang aking mga estudyante. Kaya naman atin nang simulan. Ayan na nga ang ating jumble words at ito ay kailangan nyo ng hulaan. In 3, 2, 1, go! Dami tataas ha. Yes, Miss Shania? Mali. How about the others? Maandar ang ating oras. Yes, Mr. Mark? Malapit na. Bibigyan ko kayo ng isang hint. Yung last letter ng word na yan ay M. Oh. Yes, Miss Shania ulit? Pwede, malapit na. Dalian nyo. Yes, Mr. Solis. Tama, tumpak. Ang tamang sagot sa ating jumble words na yan ay Constructivism. Palakpakan natin si Mr. Solis. Mamaya, hihingin ko ang iyong GCash account para may send ko sa iyo ang aking papremyo na ipinangako sa inyo. Kaya naman, ang ating laro ito ay konektado lamang para sa ating tatalakayin ngayong araw. At papakilala ko po sa inyo si Mr. Lawrence Pineda na kung saan ay magtatalakay siya sa inyo kung ano nga ba ang Constructivism.
Hello, good evening everyone. I'm Lawrence Pineda and tonight we're gonna talk about the theories of learning in social studies. And one of these theories is Constructivism. What is Constructivism? Constructivism is an approach to learning that holds that people actively construct or make their own knowledge and that realities that remain by the experiences of the learner. So in this simplest definition of Constructivism, makikita na natin kung ano yung pinagkaiba ng Constructivism sa iba't iba pang theories of learning. Kasi sabi dito, people actively construct or make their own knowledge. Ibig sabihin, yung learning ay hindi natin nilalagay sa kamay ng mga teachers, kundi yung learning ay nakasalalay sa kung paano makikipag-interact o sa kung paano magpa-participate yung mga estudyante natin. Ibig sabihin, sila mismo yung magdi-discover or sila mismo yung magbibigay ng insights about doon sa topic na dinidiscuss natin. In elaborating constructivist ideas, Arendt in 1998 states that Constructivism believes in personal construction of meaning by the learners through experience, and that meaning is influenced by the interaction of prior knowledge and new events. So dito makikita natin kung gaano ka-essential yung part ng mga estudyante sa Constructivism. Kasi sila mismo yung magiging batayan kung na-apply ba natin yung Constructivism sa classroom natin. For example, magbibigay ako ng example dito. For example, you're talking about economics and ikaw teacher, nagtanong ka ng what is the relationship of demand and supply at paano ito nakaka-apekto sa pricing or sa paggalaw ng presyo. And for example, yung estudyante mo is sumagot ng, sir or ma'am, nung namalengke po ako, nakita ko po na maraming bumibili ng isda, tapos konti lang yung nagtitinda ng isda or konti lang mismo yung isda. So ibig sabihin, mataas yung demand and mababa yung supply. So paano naka-apekto yun sa presyo ng mga bilihin? So sumagot yung estudyante mo na, napansin ko po sir na kapag marami pong bumibili ng isda tapos konti lang po yung supply, parang mahal po yung pagtitinda na ng isda. So in that situation, nakikita natin na from the experience itself ng estudyante mo, nakakapag-formulate siya ng sagot, or nakakapag-formulate siya ng idea, or nakakapag-construct siya ng sarili niyang insights about sa topic mo. And next one. Constructivism is considered as part of the cognitive revolution, an intellectual movement that began in 1950s as a response to traditional behavior theories, whereas behaviorist theorists view learning as a passive process. Cognitive theorists believe that learners play an active role in constructing their own ideas. In other words, learners must actively engage in the learning experience to retain information and construct knowledge. So yung constructivism, parang nabuo siya or nag-start siya just to address yung issue na nakikita natin sa traditional behavior theories wherein nagiging passive learners lang din yung mga estudyante, wherein yung teacher lang yung nagsasalita ng madalas tapos yung estudyante nakikinig lang. So sa Constructivism, it's a vice versa. Kung si teacher nagdi-discuss at nagbibigay ng sagot, dapat si estudyante din is nagbibigay din ng sagot at possible din na magtanong si estudyante kay teacher. So doon nakikita natin yung interaction and active participation ng estudyante natin. The cognitive revolution was pioneered by Jean Piaget, who is widely considered the father of Constructivism. Constructivism shares many of the same principles as cognitive theory. So sabi dito, di ba, na just to make it clear na hindi parehas yung concept ng Constructivism and cognitive theory. Kasi although nasi-share sila ng same principles, pero hindi sila totally parehas. Sabi dito, however, there are a few key differences. The main difference is the role of social context. While cognitive theory views learning as a purely internal and mental process, Constructivism views learning as a combination of cognitive development and human. So kung sa cognitive theory, it only focuses on purely internal and mental process or sa intellectual aspect lang ng isang estudyante. Sa Constructivism, it's a combination of the two. It's a combination of cognitive and social aspect ng mga estudyante. And the works of Vygotsky have also been crucial in the development of Constructivism. Vygotsky stated that learning isn't a purely internal process, nor it is a passive shaping of behavior. Sabi ni Vygotsky na sa pagkatuto hindi lang siya nakafocus sa kung ano lang yung naiisip ng estudyante, sa kung ano lang yung kapasidad ng utak niya at sa kung paano lang siya mag-interpret ng isang bagay, pero dapat sa combination ng intellectual and social aspect niya, or pwede rin siya makipag-interact para mas matuto siya. So he believed that social setting, culture, environment, and context play a significant role in constructing knowledge. So ito sasabi ko kanina na malaking epekto yung environment, malaking epekto yung interaction or yung socialization ng isang estudyante sa pagkatuto niya. Kasi kung yung estudyante na yon nakapag-share ng experience niya at hindi na experience ng ibang estudyante, so definitely yung ibang estudyante is magkakaroon din ng knowledge from the experience ng estudyante na nag-share na yon. So constructivists also believe that language plays an essential role in learning as the sharing of knowledge happens through communications. Of course, hindi naman magkakaroon ng communication between two parties if walang language. So ganun din kalaki yung factor or ganun din ka-essential or ka-crucial yung part ng language sa pagpo-promote ng constructivism. Of course, pag sinabi natin actively participation or active participation, kailangan may communication dyan. Nagbabatuhan sila ng information sa both parties. Sabi dito, Brunner's constructivist learning theory. As Brunner's theory was heavily influenced by Vygotsky, he also believed that social interaction was the heart of education. So naniniwala si Brunner's na yung social interaction ayun yung puso ng edukasyon. Ako for me, personally speaking, naniniwala rin ako dito kasi I know na hindi naman lahat ng bagay ay nararanasan ng isang estudyante. And ito ngayon nagiging dahilan kung bakit nagiging unique yung learning, lalo na kapag nanggagaling sa own experience ng isang estudyante. Kasi yung experience na yun, possible na hindi pa na-experience ng ibang estudyante. At once na share yun ng estudyante na nakaranas na yun, magkakaroon ng knowledge yung ibang estudyante. So Brunner viewed learning as a process of discovery and stated that individuals build upon their knowledge through the organization of information within different modes of representation. So naniniwala si Brunner na hindi lang din basta interaction pero may iba't ibang way kung paano ipopromote yung constructivism or kung paano ipapakita yung constructivism sa classroom natin. Sabi niya, modes of representation refers to how information or knowledge is stored and encoded in memory. So maraming modes of representation yung sinasabi ni Brunner na maaaring tumulong para makapag-encode or kung paano ma-attain or ma-obtain ng estudyante yung knowledge and kung paano nyo rin mai-store o ma-retain yun sa memory nyo. Sabi dito, the modes of representation are first, inactive representation. Ito yung action-based. Ibig sabihin, gumagalaw or ginagawa ng estudyante mismo yung pagkatuto or yung discussion nila. Like for example, yung mga groupings na ginagawa natin. And dito na po promote yung kinesthetic learning style. The second one is iconic representation or the image-based. At dito naman na po promote yung visual. Image, ibig sabihin, kahit anong visual na nakikita na hawakan, model, pictures, photos, etc. Ayan yung mga example ng image-based. Dito nga na po promote yung visual learning style. Third one is the symbolic representation or the language-based. I think ito yung kung paano na dinideliver and kung paano na rin yung medium of instruction. And dito na rin nakikita yung sa language-based yung written learning style wherein sa text, pwede rin sa text na text or sa mga books, textbooks, and other visual na may related sa language. Now, let's proceed to types of constructivism. Types of constructivism, the first one is cognitive constructivism by Jean Piaget. Cognitive constructivism focuses on the idea that learning should be related to the learner's stage of cognitive level. These methods work to help students in learning new information by connecting it to things they already know, enabling them to make modifications in their existing intelligence to accommodate the new information. Cognitive constructivism comes from the work of Jean Piaget and his research on cognitive development in children. Of course, kailangan natin i-consider din yung intellectual capacity ng mga estudyante natin. Like for example, hindi mo naman pwedeng ituro yung topic ng pang grade 9 sa mga grade 9 students, sa mga grade 7 students. Kasi yung kumbaga yung kapasidad ng utak nila na i-acquire yung knowledge or to interpret the knowledge is hindi pa ganun kahasa kumpara sa mga grade 9 students. And malaki din yung factor na binibigay ng cognitive constructivism sa kung paano ba i-apply ng mga estudyante yung mga prior knowledge na na-experience na nila para sa mga new knowledge na pwede nilang ma-attain. Then the second one is social constructivism. Social constructivism focuses on the collaborative nature of learning. Knowledge develops from how people interact with each other, their culture, and society at large. Students rely on others to help create their building blocks, and learning from others helps them construct their own knowledge and reality. Social constructivism comes from Levi-Vygotsky and is closely connected to cognitive constructivism with the added element of societal and peer influence. So si Jean Piaget and Levi-Vygotsky medyo magkalapit yung idea nila sa constructivism. However, dito kay Levi-Vygotsky, social constructivism, mas sinamahan niya ng societal and peer influence. Ano yung example nito? For example, yung mga pag-groupings, pag-brainstorming. Di ba, mas maganda na mas maraming ideas yung nanggagaling sa iba't ibang tao para mas makapagbuo ng fruitful output yung isang grupo na yun. And kapag nag-share ka ng ideas, possible kasi na hindi pa yun naiisip ng iba. So, mas magiging effective, mas magiging makabuluhan yung pag-collaborate nyo kapag maraming ideas yung naibabato. So, ayun yung sinasabi ni Levi-Vygotsky. The third one is radical constructivism by Ernst Voss Gleiserfeld. Radical constructivism is very different from cognitive and societal and social constructivism. It focuses on the idea that learners and the knowledge they construct as nothing real, only help us function in our environment. So ito, parang opposite naman siya ng paniniwala ng cognitive and social constructivism. Parang sinasabi nito sa radical constructivism na tinutulungan lang tayo ng mga knowledge na na-acquire natin just to function sa environment na pinabibilangan natin. The overall idea is that knowledge is invented, not discovered. So, ibig sabihin, parang nag-i-exist na yung knowledge. Hindi yung mga estudyante mismo yung nakaka-discover ng knowledge. Hindi, parang nandoon na yun, kailangan na lang nilang malaman. Unlike sa discovery kasi, once na pagsabing discovery, parang sila mismo yung pinanggalingan ng knowledge na yon. The things we bring to the table make it impossible for us to have truth, only interpretations of knowledge. So, ibig sabihin, kung nag-exist na yung knowledge na yon, ang kailangan lang gawin ng mga estudyante is just to interpret that knowledge na galing din sa iba't ibang studies. This theory was developed by Ernst von Gleiserfeld in 1974. So, in conclusion for this part, constructivism learning theory underpins a variety of student-centered teaching methods and techniques which contrast with traditional education, whereby knowledge is simply passively transmitted by teachers to students. So, katulad ng napag-discuss natin last meeting about sa teaching approach, meron tayong teacher-centered and learner-centered or student-centered. And dito sa constructivism, mas na-apply siya sa student-centered wherein yung student mismo yung sentro ng pagkatuto, hindi sa teacher nang gagaling mismo yung pagkatuto, kundi we're just teachers are just facilitators of that knowledge or the learning. Pero yung estudyante mismo, sila mismo yung nagko-construct, nagko-formulate ng sarili nilang pagkatuto. At for me, mas nagiging effective yun. Mas ma-retain yun sa mga bata kung galing mismo sa experience nila. Kasi diba, mas madaling tandaan yung isang bagay kapag naranasan nila. So, ayun lang. And the characteristics of constructivism will be reported by Bartolome. So, thank you very much for listening.
Hi, my name is Crystal Joy B. Bartolome, and these are the characteristics of constructivism according to Sigel in 2004.
Construction. Students learn how to construct meanings through assimilating prior knowledge and new knowledge to gain new understanding.
Based on the idea that people actively construct or make their own knowledge, and that reality is determined by your experience as a learner. And basically, learners use their previous knowledge as a foundation and build on it with new things that they learn. For example, students in a physics class might construct knowledge about heat principles from a study of the Earth's inner core and then apply what they learned to investigate the environment of Jupiter. And the second one is active. Students are active in their learning. Students need to engage in their learning by thinking, discussing, investigating, and creating. In class, students practice skills, solve problems, struggle with complex questions, make decisions, propose solutions, and explain ideas in their own words through writing and discussion. To be sure, there are many examples of classroom tasks that might be classified as active learning. Some of the most common examples include think, pair, share exercise, jigsaw discussions, and even simply posing for clarification during lecture. Third one is the reflective. Reflective is reflect on what they already know. Example to this is activities, and it might be include presentations, reflexive papers, or creating step-by-step tutorial for another student. And lastly, the collaboration. Students construct the meaning of new information by discussing it with their peers. Establishes the community in which knowledge can be co-created. Provides opportunities for individuals to learn from more competent peers, and promotes conceptual development through the experience of modeling, perspective talking, and cognitive challenges. And there are many consequences for teaching and the classroom if you adhere to constructivist principles. The chart following compares traditional and constructivist classroom across several components. In traditional classroom, a strict adherence to a fixed curriculum is highly valued. It says that educator teaches students in a traditional way, like using blackboard, visual aids, and such, etc. Learning is based on repetition. It says here that it's like a memorization of a certain topics and concepts that you repeatedly read in order for you to learn.
In constructivist classroom, pursuit of students' questions and interests is valued. And learning is interactive, building on what the students already know.
In constructivist classroom, it says here that the teacher is open to a lot of questions during the discussion. Since there are questions, it is being interactive in a way that even the students will take part on spreading information.
In traditional classroom, in teacher-centered, teachers disseminate information to students, and students are recipients of knowledge or passive learning. Teachers' role is directive, root in authority. Students work primarily alone or competitive.
In teacher-centered, in the traditional classroom, it says here that the teacher provides all the learnings and activities for the students. And it also, the teacher is discussing and spreading information and knowledge. The sense of authority is always present, a lot of individual activity.
In constructivist classroom, in student-centered, teachers have a dialogue with the students, helping students construct their own knowledge or active learning. Teachers' role is interactive, root in negotiation, and students work primarily in groups or cooperative.
In constructivist classroom, in student-centered, focusing on the learnings of the students. There are engagement and spreading of knowledge between the students and the teacher. And it is not just the teacher who only talks. There are group activities to enhance their skills. And now, let's move on to the next presenter, Miss Abigail Paradela.
Hello everyone, I'm Miss Abigail Paradela. We now know the definition, characteristic, and types of constructivism. Now let's go on to the application of constructivism. To begin with, let me show you the picture implementing application of constructivism. As you can see in the pictures, mind map helps students visualize the things we already know. And then, we build and organize that image with new ideas. Mind mapping is a powerful note-taking method. They are great when we need to think creatively and can help us to make new connections between ideas. Mind maps are a recognized example of constructivist teaching methods as they enhance the process of learning how to develop patterns.
And the other one is fieldwork and learning. Fieldwork education is any practical work, teaching, study, or research activity required by post-secondary education providers as an integral part of a course. On the pictures here, fieldwork is the process of observing and collecting data about people, cultures, and natural environments. Fieldwork is also known as practicum, professional experience, internship, or clinical placement.
And lastly, the Jigsaw Classroom. What is Jigsaw? Jigsaw is a cooperative learning strategy that enables each student of a home group to specialize in one aspect of learning unit. The Jigsaw Classroom method was effective in breaking down stereotypes between groups by improving friendships in the classrooms.
And those are the 3 ways to implement the application of constructivism. Have a nice day and thanks for listening.